Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to another Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. I will go ahead and pop the sketch we're all using today up in the left side of the screen in a few moments. And I will also have everyone participating today linked in my description box along with all of the items I use on this layout today. So first up, you're going to notice that this sketch uses one photo and there's a lot of circles on there. I am using those two photos you see there on my desk of my grandson. He's wearing a really cute t-shirt that says, "In my defense, I was left unsupervised." I thought it was really funny and cute, so I decided to go ahead and scrapbook that today. So I pulled off here some items from Vicki Boutin Field Notes collection, I believe it's called. And I'm going to use this pattern paper here as my background. So I'm going to trim about a ½ inch off two sides of this pattern paper right now because I want to go ahead and mat it on that black cardstock. So I'm going to trim that down right here. And I'm going to remove ½ inch off one side and the second side. And now I'm going to gut this cardstock before matting that pattern paper on there because I am not going to see the part of it that's going to be removed, and I will actually be using that later on in this process. So you can see I'm just cutting through the paper there. I'm not going all the way to the edge, and I'll go ahead and remove that center part. And to mat my pattern paper on there, I'm adding adhesive just to two sides of the pattern paper and adding it onto my cardstock, trying to get it nice and straight. And I just do two sides just in case I need to rip it off. It's not adhered to all four sides. It's just a little easier. And once I have it in place, I go ahead and adhere the other two sides as well. So now, inspired by all of those circles on the sketch, I am going to use this stencil also from Vicki Boutin and stencil on all of those circles with those patterns inside of it that you see there. And I'm skipping forward to this part because you can see there I am not able to see my texture paste at all on that pattern paper. So I'll use the black piece of cardstock that I cut off from the center of the cardstock that I matted my pattern paper on. I'm adhering it to the center there of my pattern paper, and I'll go ahead and stencil on the black cardstock instead. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that texture paste through the stencil. You can see I'm pushing it through using my silicone brush there. And then I'll just swipe off all of the excess, so I'm not wasting any of my product, leaving it behind on the stencil. And then I'll remove it, and you'll see just how beautiful this looks against that black cardstock. And I just love the arrangement of these circles that they're in on the stencil. So now I'll go ahead and extend it down to the bottom part of the black cardstock. And you will notice I leave a little space empty because I know my photos are going to go on the lower part of this layout. So I'm not going to waste my product and stencil in behind if I definitely know my photo is going to hide it anyway. So now I'm going to do the top right corner. And I'm going to do the lower right corner. And you'll see here it overlaps a little bit with one of the circles, but that's totally fine. I do not mind at all. And I'm just using the smallest little circle here and just adding in anywhere that I feel is a little empty and needs a little more of that stenciling. And I absolutely love how this background turned out. And like I said, this was definitely inspired by all of those circles and patterns on that sketch. So now you see on the sketch there are about 6 circles on the top, and then there's one on the lower left corner of the photo, on the top right corner of the photo. So I fussy cut out some circles from that pattern paper I pulled out earlier. And some of these are just plain colored. They don't have markings on them, and some do. So I just went in with my pen, my ballpoint pen, and just added in some markings of my own. And I'm just using the orange with a little hint of red on there and the yellow ones. So I wanted to use this cut apart card, but it I cut it in half, and I wanted to have that craft colored bordered on the bottom. So you can see there, I cut it in half, and I just cut the bottom part off and attached it to the top part, so it has the bottom border now. And I ended up cutting it apart anyway because I fishtailed the ends just like it is in the sketch. And I'm going to add that right next to my photos. So now once I have everything in place where I want it to be, I am going to start adhering all of these pieces to my background. Seeing that I have this textured paste on my background, I am using my art glitter glue, which will definitely keep all of these pieces in place. And here I adhered my photo, my banners here. And one of those banners just says, say what? And I thought it went perfectly well with my photos. So now I'm going to go ahead, adhere these 6 circles on the background and try to line them up pretty straight. And now working on my title. Now, I love the title on those stickers, the puffy stickers that says, oh snap, but it's in black, glossy, puffy stickers, and it's just not showing up well enough on my background. So I pulled out these off-white, sort of a linen, well, not linen, this is more of a gray-white colored alpha. Those are thickers, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add the words oh snap. And I rarely use the exclamation marks, but this was the perfect time to use them, so I added 2 exclamation marks at the end. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start embellishing, which I kept really simple. I pulled out here an arrow from the sticker sheet, also from the same collection, Field Notes. And I was going to add it there to next to the photos, but you see my grandson is wearing that red t-shirt, so I figured I'd go ahead and add this to the right side instead and pull in a little red to that side and sort of try to balance out my colors now. Now that orange circle all the way to the top of the layout has some red on there already. So I'm not really concerned about the red being on the top. I pulled it in on the right side and I added that red dot next to the photo once again. But you'll see I will begin a cluster to the top right above my title where it is on the sketch as well. And I'll pull that red dot over to that side. But right now I'm just using some word phrases which you will definitely see close up. I cannot remember what they all say right now, but you'll be able to see those and read them once I give you guys a close-up look at the end of this process. So here I pulled in that 3rd arrow, added the red dot up there, and like I said, I cannot remember what that says, and just adding in a few word phrases. I just added a little bit of journaling here, of course. Like always, I do need to go back and add the date this photo was taken and how old my grandson was. But I did write that about his t-shirt and that I thought it was cute and funny. And now I am adding some splatters. I'm adding some huge splatters. Well, not huge, but bigger splatters close to my clusters and lighter splatters all the way around my layout. And I'm using some black India ink for my splatters. And now I'll give you guys a close-up look at the completed layout. I hope you guys enjoyed the process today. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. I hope it inspires you to maybe go and pull out some texture paste and a stencil and add a little bit of mixed media to your layouts. Don't forget, check out everyone else participating in this hop today using this same sketch. They'll all be linked in my description box, and I want to thank you all for watching today. So until my next video, bye.